Yeah, good morning, Jacob. Sorry it's taken me a couple days to get to you. I really apologize that it's been really busy. One of our teams has qualified for the state competition in cybersecurity, so that's kind of cool. So I've been really busy with that, so I apologize for neglecting you. But let's take a look at this. First of all, I'm sure you've read through here, but you have already practiced creating and fixing simple projects in Scratch. In this lesson, you're going to focus on how sprites interact with one another. Specifically, you're going to create a project in which two or more sprites talk to each other. The sorts of challenges presented by sprites interactions will test your grasp of sequencing, incremental development, interactivity, and problem solving. So here's some of your objectives. You're going to describe the concept of a sequence, perform incremental development. So incremental development, you're starting on phase 1, if you will, get that working. Work on the next increment, phase 2, if you will, get that working. Work on the next increment, if you will, get that working. So you're going to create an interactive digital representation of interests, evaluate different ways to solve problems, programming problems. So learning with Chatimals, they're going to call this activity, or you're going to save it as Chatimals. So I'm just going to skip down to the second, well, let's just start off with this. In this activity, you're going to create an interactive story in which two or more animal-shaped sprites have a conversation with each other. Because the animals will chat, we're going to call this Project Chatimals. You should use the process of incremental development to create this program. This means that you should first plan out the sequence of events. Next, you should select one small part of the program, add the necessary steps, and test the part to make sure that it works like you want it to. After you're satisfied with that part or sequence, you'll move on to the next step. Interactions will be important to this project, as will the introduction of problem sets towards the end of the project. To help get you started, they've given you an example. And so I've already opened this example. It's that same link right there. And I went and kind of take a look and see what they got. They've selected their background. They have a couple of their sprites here. And so let's play this. And you can see that they're speaking. Hi, Fred. Hi, Carl. Looks like you're a little sad. What's bothering you? So this is just sequencing here. So I went and stopped the program and I looked inside of it, and it gives me a little bit more information about, you know, their different accesses, where they're at, clear the graphic effects. So say hi Fred for 2 seconds, wait 6 seconds, say. So you can kind of see a little bit of the sequence that they have here. And they're just talking back and forth. They're having a conversation. So hopefully that helps out a little bit. You can see that they have a couple different sprites here along with Bear. So let's see what happens when Bear comes into play. So we've got Hi Carl for a little bit. Alrighty, so you can see that that was the sequence for this penguin. Here is the sequence for this, I should say sprite, and here is for this one. So you can definitely go in here and take a look and kind of see what they have. But this is kind of what you'll be doing there, looking back at your directions. Plan the project sequence in your design journal. So please go ahead. It's very important for any programmer to have a journal that you're using to kind of start. So how will your sprites interact with each other? This is something that you're going to be answering in your design journal. What interesting story are the sprites going to talk about? What kind of sprites will you use? Are they going to be custom sprites that you maybe make yourself? Or are they going to be selected from the library, or costumes, or appearances? What kind of backdrop will you use? A custom one or selected from the library again? For inspiration, you can look through the available sprites and backdrops in Scratch Library to access the sprite library. Find the words New Sprite in the left center of the screen and click the sprite icon to the right of the words. To access the backdrop library, find the words New Backdrop to the far left and click the picture icon below the words. So Hopefully that cleared up a little bit for you. I know I'm not going to go through it for you, but I think that example is pretty good of what you're going to be kind of doing. And so when you're done and you submit this, please go ahead and also submit to me a link to your project, as this one has done here, for I'd be very appreciative, because I would love to take a look at your story. I think that'd be really cool. So if you have any other questions, Jacob, please let me know. I will put this video right inside of the help desk.